Hello, my little flowers, and welcome to the review of Ensley Reign's newest eyeshadow palette, the Groovy Garden. My name is Lauren if you're new here. If you are returning, you're amazing. Thank you. Ritzy says thank you as well. He once again wanted to be part of the video, and I said, fine. He likes to knock stuff off the table in front of me, like brushes, eyeshadow primer, sometimes an entire palette he just whacks off. So, you know, he's not my favorite guest star. He's just a bit aggressive. That's okay though. Either way, if you haven't had a chance, please hit that subscribe button. It would mean the world to me. I don't know what my goal for 2024 is yet because I met my goal of 2023, which is 1,000 subscribers. So if we could double it and hit 2,000 subscribers, that seems like a lot. But either way, your help and support would be much appreciated if you hit that subscribe button and like this video. Hopefully you like it because it's gonna be a longer one. I love Ensley Reign. I love their eyeshadow formula. I love all their eyeshadow palettes. I am a big fan. So of course when they came out with something called Groovy Garden, I was like, greens, right? Greens. I mean, you can't see any on my eyes, but they're in the palette. Look at this guy. Ugh. So pretty. It's kind of another fall leaning palette, right? It kind of feels like fall, and I love a good fall palette. So I was like, okay, let's try it out. Let's try it out. Now, if you are interested in picking up this palette, I have it linked below. I don't get money for it or anything. It's just in case you want to check it out. But I will say this palette is expensive. It's $69. But if you are planning on buying it, definitely search for a promo code because there's a ton out there. Whenever I order from Ensley Reign, I always use a promo code because $69 is a lot of money for a palette. Now, what are we gonna do in this video? We're gonna do a couple things, 3 things. We're gonna do swatches, 1, and then we're gonna do a couple looks, 2. That's 3 things. And then we're gonna talk about my overall feelings about this palette. So the first look, I kind of sped through it. I decided to do a voiceover. It's the one that you're seeing right now. See, fall, right? And I decided to do a voiceover for a couple reasons. 1, my neighbors were playing basketball outside very loudly. So I can hear, I'm turning the audio off on the clip, except for the voiceover part, obviously. But if I left it in there, you would just hear a thumping of a basketball. Fine, which is, have fun, play, right? But I don't want to hear it in my video. So that's why I decided to do a voiceover for this first one. For the second look, I'm probably just going to be talking to you. And then I just, you know, I am never going to tell you how to spend your money, but I will talk about whether or not I think this palette is worth the very expensive price tag. Yes, there are multi-chromes in here. Yes, it is a color story that I love. Is it right for you? I don't know. Let's try it out. Let's get to the swatches, then we'll move into this look, and then we will do a second, much more green look because I'm dying to try out some of these greens. So let's get into it. Okay, let's get to the swatches. This is a big palette, so hopefully it's all in focus. But we're gonna start up here. Ooh, they feel really nice. Free Thinker, Bliss. Let's try to get that. That one is pretty much the color of my skin. Free Love, Mystic Mauve, Marvy, Sage Serenity, Peace, ooh, onto the shimmers. Wow. Okay. We've got Free Spirit. This one's very flaky. Then we have Moonchild, which has no base pigment. And then Jazzed, which also is actually very light. Okay. Let's Move on to Retro. Ooh, very metallic. Vintage Vibes. Weird, it like does not want to go over that part of my skin. Ooh, Trippy feels amazing. Very metallic. And then we have Lava Lamp, which is super pretty. Back to mattes with Grass, Foxy, Good Vibes, Earthy Ember, Hazy Dream, Babe, and last but not least, we've got Dig It. So this is the palette all swatched. We've got some intense shimmers, some not as intense shimmers, lots of mattes. So let's get into the first look to see how these perform. So first I decided to go in with the color Marvy. I just thought that was a really beautiful color that I wanted to try out. I have already primed my eyes with my Give Me Glow eyeshadow primer, so we're all set there. And I found this color really easy to lay down and use and blend out and itch my nose with. And it was just a really easy color to use. Next I decided to go in with Earthy Ember. That just looked like a really beautiful neutral color. And I decided to lay it down in the crease as a little bit of a transition shade. And just patting it into my skin kind of worked perfectly. It was just a really beautiful, warmer brown color. I really liked it. Next I went into the shade Free Love. It was a really pretty rosy brown. I decided to use it underneath my waterline. I just thought it was a really soft color to kind of blend everything out on top. And then I went in with the Ensley Reign Glitter Primer and let that dry down. I thought the color Lava Lamp would kind of complete everything. It looks really red in the palette when I'm on camera, but then as you can see applying it to my eyes, it's more orangey. It's got a green shift to it. It's really, really pretty. And this is the final look. Let me know what you think. I really like how it turned out. On to look number 2. Now that my neighbors have stopped playing basketball, we obviously need to go into the greens because that's really what draws your eye on this palette. At least for me it does. So I think we're gonna start with Grass down here, and I'm gonna put that all over my eyelids like I typically do. Should I do something a little different? Let's do something a little different. I'm gonna just kind of start out here. Ooh. So far, I've really liked how all the eyeshadow performs. I've always really liked their mattes. I don't love the flaky shimmers as much as their other shimmers, but that's just a personal preference. I just find them a little bit difficult to work with. But that's like flaky shimmers in general. You know how Danessa Myricks does the little flaky pots, shimmer flakes? I don't remember what she calls them, but she does those and they're so beautiful. And I just cannot figure out for the life of me how to get them to look that beautiful on me because they are kind of turned into a mess when I use them, which is pretty normal for me, right? That's not unusual at all. Okay, we are going into this green and we are loving it. Ooh, that's just a really pretty green. Okay, I do want to go in with this darker green in the corner piece. I'm going to put that, I think, just in the outer ends of my eyes and fluff it out. I want to fluff it out. I think I do. I want to fluff it out. I'm really liking how the greens are playing with each other. They're just so complementary. I like it. I probably should have gone in first with the dark green. That's typically what I do, but sometimes when you don't have a plan, you just go where the vibe takes you, right? We're feeling hippie-ish today. I also am drinking wine. It's after work. It's been a long week. It's only Thursday. I'm gonna go back into Grass, the lighter green color. And I think I'm gonna just put a little more down so that it blends in a little bit better with that darker green. Next, I think I want to go into this color here, Good Vibes. It's a little more yellow than what I typically reach for, which is why it's good that I'm reaching for it now. It's always good to try new things, especially when you have a palette of this cost. You want to like everything. And I'm just kind of bringing it over the greens just a little bit and into the corner and just trying to fluff it out a little bit. I don't want to create too sharp of a line here. I want them to kind of meld into each other as much as possible. Now, this was actually a really large collection. Normally when Ensley Reign comes out with a palette, they come out with a whole bunch of stuff to go with the palette. So they've got like individual eyeshadows. They have, which I did get the individually hand-pressed eyeshadows that go with its collection, which you're gonna see later in a short. So that's why you should subscribe if you haven't already. But they also come out with these like little glitter pots, and I have so many already from Ensley Reign that I was like, no, I can't justify getting any more glitter pots. I just cannot. So I didn't pick up the whole collection, even though it's such a fun experience opening up the entire collection if you have the funds to do it. But we had to buy a new water heater, and that was very expensive. And also we are having, this is gonna sound bizarre, some sort of weird mosquito infestation around our house. So I need to call someone to come spray because what is happening, I don't know. Now, I could probably spend quite a bit of time out here just blending because it's oddly relaxing to me to blend. But I think that's good. I think this side blended better than this side. I have a good side and a bad side for eyeshadow. Is that weird? I feel like this eye I always do better. I am left-handed, so I wonder if that's it, maybe. Also, pretty sure my eyelids are different sizes. I'm not positive. I'm not quite sure how to measure that, but you know, I think they are. We are gonna once again use the glitter-based primer from Ensley Reign. This actually came in one of the previous collections, and I'm pretty sure they include it kind of like in all their, if you buy like the entire collection, they'll throw one of these in because it definitely helps quite a bit. You need something with a little more hold to it. So I put it on, I wait just a little bit, 30 seconds for it to dry down a little bit and get tacky. It's hard to put stuff on directly when it's really wet, but okay, I have to go into all of them at some point, but let's go into, okay, since we went into Lava Lamp, the last one, I was thinking of going into Trippy right next to it, but they're the same formula. So let's go for a different formula. Let's go into Retro right here. And you know me, I'm gonna just put it on my finger. This is definitely a little bit flakier, but it's going on pretty well. It's really that purple one, the first shimmer in the palette, that is super, super flaky. So I'm gonna have to work with that one a bit just to see how I feel about it. But this one, while also flakier than the Lava Lamp color we used, which was just very smooth, very metallic feeling, this one, while more flaky, is going on really, really well. So let's just keep with the green theme. I think is probably best. So let's go into Sage Serenity here. I'm gonna use that color, put it underneath my waterline. We're going green. I am covered in shimmers from the last look. So I typically only do one look a day because I know that I'm not gonna want to like redo my base each time because that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. And it's hard on days when I have my other job, my real job, my job that pays me, not the job that I have fun at. Also, I have poked myself in the eye at least 3 times. I'm not wearing contacts, And it hurts so much more when you're not wearing contacts. Let's go back into Peace, which is the dark green color. Just gonna kind of blend it together a little bit more. Going in really light. Yeah, I like that a little bit better. Okay, awesome. So that is very green. That's what I wanted. I'm gonna go ahead and put some eyeliner, some mascara on, and then come back. And then I think what I wanna do is actually, I wanna use one of these shimmers as a highlighter because I don't have a highlighter on. So we're gonna see if one of these shimmers works. There's a couple options that I think may actually do the trick. So we'll see if it works. Sometimes there's too much pigment to the base and it just looks like I put eyeshadow on my face. Sometimes it works out though, so we're gonna try. But I will be right back. Okay, we are back. We have eyeliner, we have mascara on. This is the final look. What do we think? I can't decide which look I like better. You know I like green though. I do like green. But let's try one of these as a highlighter. And you know, I'm gonna just do Moonchild. That one was so sheer. It's white and I'm very much into like icy highlighters lately. I am gonna spray my brush with my MAC Fix Plus. I think that will help pick some product up. We're just gonna go in a little bit. Ignore kitty. Yeah, I think that actually works. Oh yeah, look how pretty that is. Put some on my nose. My nose is very pink. I think it's because it's the end of the day and my body is tired. Okay, so yeah, I actually think that color Moonchild works as a highlighter. It's got like this pretty green reflect. It's got a sheer base, so there's no color pigment to the base. It just shows off the shimmers. It's icy. I love icy. Yeah, that actually worked this time. Woo! So let's talk about the Groovy Garden palette from Ensley Reign. If I think it's worth the very expensive $69 price tag, and if I would recommend it to you to pick up. Now, again, I always say, I'm not gonna tell you how to spend your money because you know better than I what you can afford and what you can't, but $69 is very high for an eyeshadow palette. So first off, I'm gonna say, if this is not your favorite color story, then you might not need it. I love this color story. I was worried initially when I first saw it launch. I thought it was gonna be too warm. You know, I tend to like cooler toned leaning eyeshadows, but I don't know. It's caught my attention and I really ended up liking it quite a bit. Now, I feel like the formulas in here are true to their formulas they use in every single palette. They just work great. The mattes are super smooth and buttery. They blend out well. They go well with each other. It's just, the mattes are great. The mattes really are great. I would say you have about three-ish different formulas in this palette for the shimmers. The first one, Free Spirit, is definitely big flakes. We didn't use it today. It makes me a little bit nervous, those flakes, so I'm gonna have to play around a little bit with it because sometimes I just can't get them to not look flaky. Sometimes they just look flaky on my eyes. But then you have like Moonchild, Jazzed, Retro, Vintage vibes. Those ones are a little bit flaky, but more smooth than anything else, easy to apply. I would say, you know, out of all of them, Vintage vibes, Retro, those were a little bit more flaky. Moonchild and Jazz, not so much. They're pretty smooth, but they're also lacking a lot of color in their base, so they're a little bit more transparent. And then you've got Trippy and Lava Lamp, which are just super metallic. They feel super metallic. They're super pigmented. They're multi-chromes. They're beautiful. They are just their own thing, and they're great. So overall, same formulas that I'm used to in using Ensley Reign's palettes. Great formulas. I do really like them quite a bit. And I ended up really liking this color story. Yes, I love the greens, but out of the two looks that I created today, I think the more fall one was the one that I really liked. I do think that was my favorite. I don't know what it was. Maybe I just miss fall, but I just really liked how that turned out. I do really like the look that I did here. I don't know, there was just something about that first look that I really liked, but I will say I'm loving the greens, especially this grass color here. Just such a pretty green. Oh my, it's like a sagey green. I love it, even though this one's called Sage Serenity. I mean, they're both kind of versions of the color sage. They were just great. But I did have a lot of fun using all the other colors as well. even Good Vibes, which I thought was just going to pull way too yellow on me, but I actually really did like that one. I mean, it's warm. It's definitely warm leaning, but it's a good warm. I like it. It didn't overwhelm my face. It didn't look too warm, and it played well with the green, so I like it. Overall, I really like this palette. I think it fits in with the rest of the palettes that I have from Ensley Reign. I think they all are just excellent quality, and I just really have a good time playing with them. I also think that color is making a comeback, because the last couple times where I've done really colorful looks and gone out, I've gotten compliments, and color is coming back, people, finally. I cannot wait. So yeah, if you're curious about any of the products on my face, I have them linked below in case you want to check them out. I don't make any commission off of that. It's just for you if you want to look. And I am out of here. I am gonna go finish my wine and probably start cooking dinner soon because it's about that time. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you thought about this palette. It's, I think, a pretty unique and special palette, so let me know. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on it. Did you like it? Were you a little disappointed? Let me know down below, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!